routine is everything, and it's hard, especially when you got kids. But I've learned the most, learning to talk ball with my coaches around the country. Just had one this morning with some receiver coaches in the ACC and the Big 12, and it's been really great to help develop my coaching skills and develop those relationships across the country. So this is a perfect time to do it. If it was just normal lifestyle, I probably wouldn't be able to do this. So I think this is a great time for us to kind of get a chance to break down our football techniques, our fundamentals, and just stuff that can help you into this 2020 season. And I want to thank the Minority Football Coaches Network for setting this up, and Coach Ramirez being a great host and getting out the information. And I'm going to stop talking and get into this red zone game planning. Our biggest goal in looking at the Pac-12 over the years, the most elite teams are the teams that 75% touchdowns once they get in the red zone. And so that's one thing that we try to make sure, when we get in the end zone, get in the red zone, we want to make sure that we're trying to hit that mark at 75%. And that's going to give you an extra 3 or 4 wins during the season. So it's, you never want to run out of enough play calls in the red zone. You find your bread and butter, but you want to have enough thought and enough, simple execution for your quarterback and offense, but really find a way to be once you get past the 20-yard line or the 15 or the 10 or the 5, you are comfortable. The offense knows what they're good at, and then find ways to cross that goal line. So how we break it up in the high red zone, we look at the 35-yard line is where we break it, 35 to the 26, going by 10-yard segments or 9 yards. But in the low red zone on the call sheet, it really changes. It says 15 to 5, but we kind of break down the low red zone where the defense changes. It could be the 12-yard line, and that defensive coordinator is a straight zone defense no matter what, or he's a man coverage team. So we try to change that landmark on our call sheet in our presentations to our offense or how we practice throughout the week. Hey, guys, you got to know, 12-yard line, it's man coverage. They're going to man you up. They're going to bring a 6'5" man pressure. So just trying to find when you're evaluating and breaking up a defense, where do they change their tendencies, and then that's where you start finding your man beaters or your zone beaters, okay, and getting your quarterback in the right play or the right coverage beater to execute. And then inside the 5-yard line, that obviously is going to be our type of runs in our 10, 11, and 12 personnel packages. Here's a look of our just typical red zone cut up or call sheet. We go 3 or 4 plays. Those are going to be our shot plays, things that we thought what we liked, who we are attacking on the defense. Mid red zone, 5 plays. Low red zone, and then goal line. Those are the 3 plays that we just changed up. Something new that we had not shown all season, and but we also have our bread and butter. Our cutoff, our tight zone, our one-word play. Yeah, that's carried on in these segments, but we don't have to type it because we already know, when you get the offense rolling, you definitely can you understand what the defense is doing. We're rolling. So, and then our 2-point plays, you got to have at least 2 just in case in your back pocket. Here's practice. We went on Tuesday is our red zone day. We changed that up because of game planning. We thought we're going to have a little bit more of a game plan. You get to Monday and then Tuesday's third down, then Wednesday comes around, you kind of added so many plays to the playbook, or you kind of schemed on third down and in the open field, your red zone, you're kind of like, we can add like 2 more plays. We only add like 4 more plays, or maybe we only have room for, 1 play, So we kind of liked it this year, and it kind of happened where we game plan a lot for red zone, which allowed us to put more schemes or put more ways to attack the defense. But then on Wednesday, we were more generic on third down, and it actually helped us on third down because we weren't so fancy on third down. We just ran what we're good at, or we just ran, quick game or our mesh and rolled with it. We didn't really treat it any differently on first and second down, and we saw more success on third down. So These are just on the right side, 16, 17. That's how many plays we got in that 10-minute segment, or how we broke down 7-on-7, good on good. So I'm going to get to the schemes real quick. Red zone, just a typical, just breaking down the coverages. So high red zone, this one right here has 5 shots that we looked at. I'm going to break it down by what we saw versus that defense, how we practice it, and then scheming it on or calling it on Saturday. As you can look right here, we like this FIB concept. It was a really good concept for us because we run a lot of FIB RPOs and run the ball to the field. Well, here's a run going into the boundary and then the play action off it. And we're really just testing out on who is the flat defender that's going to carry with the wheel route, pretty much. So we really like this double post with the wheel. This is us practicing right here. We tell our number 2 receiver, all right, make sure you break 10 and then cross the safety's face at about 10 to 12. Our receiver in the boundary, you gotta attract the attention. All right, you gotta get to the corner, step on his toes, and bring him on the post. And now we're hoping that maybe a DN or a will linebacker has our back into the flat, up down the seam, and see he can cover our back from the backfield. So that's just us practicing it. And then in the game, same mindset. We get that quarters, same look. We're going to take the top of the defense with us. And now we got to see, are they a team that leaves the will linebacker or DN in the boundary, or they put the nickel in the boundary that likes to, carry and that's athletic, have to run with them. If they're not, then we want to get a chance for our fast speed versus their slowest linebacker down the sideline. So that was one of the plays that we liked a lot, especially in the boundary. Just kind of flooding the defense out, easy read for the quarterback. If anything, we will look for the post on number 1 if that corner wants to break off to cover the back. But we're looking at the post to the wheel, and then the third progression is the next back on the play action, as you can see here. So it's just kind of a 3-man flood in the boundary. Same thing, just we like to do a little bit more of condensed splits. We kind of get a more of a generic look. Every defensive coordinator usually has maybe 1, if not 2, checks to condense splits. So when we call this formation, we kind of know, hey, 98% of the time they're a 1 high look team versus look. So just in a high red zone, we're just going to build a 3-by-1. Number 1 receiver is going to run a spray release go to the field. The number 2 receiver is going to run a bender. He's going to bend that safety and make him cover him on the crosser. And then our number 3 receiver that gets motioned over, he's going to come off slightly with and he's not fake blocking, but he's just letting it develop a little bit. All right, that's a good timing by the number 5 there of letting it develop. And now he's just down the seam. We said 2 yards or on the hash landmark, and we just building 4 verticals right there. As you can see in the backfield, we're kind of faking our toss to the back. We did have a toss in the run game, especially short yardage. So that's just a fake toss to the boundary. Hopefully you get the eyes of the linebackers to bite and now hit the seam. You can see in the backfield right here. All right, and then just another, here's an RPO on the boundary, just attacking. We're reading the will linebacker here, running pin pull to the field. So we're going to motion the running back to the boundary, reading the will linebacker. And then this boundary receiver, he's just running a 5-step glance. He's going to take that corner with him versus man. He knows this man. He's going to try to just get in the way of the safety because he knows, all right, that running back on the backfield, all right, is uncovered. Obviously, poor throw. All right, we connect on it. He walks in the end zone right there, okay? So this is his pin pull to the field and then run the, as you could say, a glance bullet route from the boundary, okay? And then we just tell our guy in motion, all right, when he sees, put his eyes on the single receiver, and once he moves, he knows the ball snapped, okay? So he's just kind of making sure that it's a legal play, but we're just going to motion the guy out, see what the will does. If the will takes the motion, then we're going to hand that ball off, okay? We run the pin pull, okay? We tell our number 2 receiver to the field, he should be digging out this number 8 right here, the nickel or safety that's coming up. And you can see we're 4 down, we're blocking back, pulling the backside guard, and he's on number 12 27, the will linebacker, is our quarterback's read right there. So nice little read. Just got to execute the throw. Now here's just trying to find the matchup, right? So just trying to see, putting our best receiver in the best on the best, our best receiver on the weakest link. We just run a double move at 8 yards. We went an empty formation. Christian Kirk, number 2 receiver to the field, just attacking the nickel. He's playing off coverage, stutter him, double move, and work on that inside fade route right there. Okay, so we're just trying to find a way of at an empty doing a double move concept here, and so we're just trying to hold the safety in the middle of the field as a quarterback. All right, all the other receivers, outside guys running hitches. The number 3 receivers running a spot just in case any kind of quarters or cover drop 8. All right, he can hit the spot route, but if we got man and we have off coverage on our best receiver, we're going to work on that double move by number 2. And what the double move, the best sell of it was when he flashed his eyes on top of his route. All right, be patient, drop your weight, a quick flash, and then get out on that second level release. Okay, so you can see hitches outside, spot route. And then number 2 in the boundary, he's just running a 10-yard stop route too. Okay, so it's just everyone's on stop routes, and we're just trying to take our best receiver off versus off coverage and take a shot off the play. But nice job by the quarterback holding the safety just a little bit and then letting it go right there. I know you guys. I don't know if you guys get a lot of we call it mini. All right, and that's triangle on 2 and 3. All right, so they're going to triangle 2 and 3. It's man coverage with the single receiver up top. All right, so we're just seeing it's a quarters family. All right, so we're going to try to find a way, all right, to get the post, corner, as we call scissors concept. All right, we know the safety and the nickel are working together. They pass it off. We're just going to see if they can communicate. And obviously the safety doesn't see the post. They don't communicate. And now we can take a shot over the safety's head right there, okay? So another shot play that we liked. Versus the 4 mini look. And then up top, we call that an indie route. All it is a 5-6 yard in route versus man. He's on the move versus zone, sit it down. So this is our play action versus 11 personnel, 7-man pro, scissor concept. And then just finding new ways of just trying to find run plays, right? So just our FIB play, we're on the GT counter to the tight end. We're telling him just to arc the DN and get to the second level. We want the first guard to kick out, the tackle to pull up to the second level. All right, and then also the motion, we're just trying to see, who's going to run with them. All right, if he doesn't run with them, all right, then we can throw the comment out there, or they don't respect the motion, we can throw it out there, okay? So the quarterback just reading the 5 technique, and obviously it's a give read. Both guys are waiting for the quarterback to pull it. That's an easy read right there, and ends in the end zone right there. So that's another nice little RPO, or you call it a more of a GT counter move with our tight end attached or tight end in the blocking scheme. He's just arcing to get to the second level. In the mid red zone from the 24-yard line to the 15 or where we think the defense changes, we're going to do our locks off our key screens. We're going to do some empty formations concepts, and then some RPO stuff. So lock zombie, typical bunch, fake the pump. We want to pump it with our shoulders as a quarterback. Then we're going to read it inside out. Go from the Y to the Z to the field. We just put them on a post curl, just in case if they want to get depth and he doesn't like it, he can work now back to his post curl as his third progression. Or his bailout throw could be the key 3. They want to get deep. This is us practicing it. All right, quarterback's quick pump to the bubble, read it inside out. Obviously the corner did not bite because he probably knew what the play was. And we threw a back shoulder here, but just showing you right here, if you read it inside out, we can hit that seam there, okay? Really do a good job of breaking down. We talk about our eyes on our target, on who we're blocking. Sync with your hips, all right, and now go get open, okay? It's one of those plays that you don't want to overcoach, but you do want those guys to understand how important it is to sell the perimeter blocking. All right, I know a lot of teams run this play, but it's one of those things that we've when you get the offense rolling and you're having success with the boundary plays, call it. You might get cover 2 like right here. Both receivers do a great job of squaring them up like they're going to block them. Quarterback puts his eyes on the bubble, reads the weak side safety, and hits the hole shot for a touchdown. We've had success with it versus man, zone. All right, so it's not really much of a coverage. It's more of just trying to have a quick execution here. Now, it didn't go as planned on this look here, but we had a post wheel. So number 1 receiver had a post. Number 2 is supposed to fake block and then wrap underneath the post. And we want the corner and the safety to go with the post so we can hit the Y or number 2 receiver down the sideline. Obviously, the press coverage caught us by surprise. They end up working it out together. They didn't panic. But a nice job back shoulder and throw here, but just running a switch concept instead of doing what we did last clip. Now we're doing a switch concept, faking it. And in the backside, you can see the post curl, right? If he doesn't like it, he's working off his lock 3. He can go back down to his post curl to the field, okay? Great catch, great throw, great execution right there. So it's just a different way of running your locks is off the switch look. But I always think it's important, the quicker that quarterback gets his shoulders to that bubble, you might get somebody to bite. It shows it. And then here's a 10 personnel GT play, working on our just a one-word play, okay? We thought this is, at this time our quarterback was really good at GT. So we're just reading this backside D in and getting the end zone. So we always want to find just what one words do we like in the run RPO family, and just carry it on. So this might not have been on the call sheet, but we know it's our bread and butter. It's our fast concept, one-word play. So go ahead and call it right there. So just a nice job of the quarterback, not blocking the running back's path. He's more of like a nice little small step up the field. It's not a 45-degree step. And now he's just riding to the front leg, reading the backside D in. He walks in right there. Low red zone, like I said, it starts wherever the defense changes it. Might be the 14-yard line, might be the 12. And now these are the concepts that we like versus it. We're looking for, if we have condensed splits, are we going to get in and out coverages? Are we going to get press the point? Are we going to get box? Will they box the bunch? We're just trying to find out in these areas of the field, how's the defense cover normal splits, condensed splits, bunch sets. All right, so just give an idea of what we're looking for. And then here's like an RPO we ran week 1. All right, it's just 11 personnel. Just seeing a safety on the backside of 3x1, how aggressive he had to the run. And now Khalil doing a good job reading him to his front foot, rocket forward, rocket back, ride it off that safety, and then over the top. We're trying to tell that tight end to expand for 5, and then cross his face on the glance route. So come off like he's blocking, all right, and then put his foot in the ground and get it back in the end zone. Here's a look here of us calling it that week. And it's kind of just how I practice, how it works out on game day. So I think the tight end does a great job of coming off the field or coming off the ball, working them, trying to expand them a little bit, all right, and then having his eyes on them. And then Khalil, our quarterback, doing a good job reading that safety, coming down to stop the tight end run, and then RPO off. So, you don't see many RPOs with the tight end attached. This is one that was a little bit unique. Usually you put your outside receiver out there, he runs the glance. So here's another idea for you guys. If you like 3x1 with a tight end attached, putting the glance over the top of the safety from the attachment. Just reading the weeks, that strong safety, number 5 right there. All right, hey, pivot. Pivot is probably one of our go-to red zone concepts. It's a great way to attack the baseline of the red zone in the back of the end zone. We tell our quarterback if it's on the left hash and the concept's on the right, we're hitting the ball right upright over the defense. Use that grass. All right, the receiver here, the Z, has to do a good job of expanding and spray releasing here. We're trying to get that corner to get off his landmark and to cover the field. And then now that allows us to cross face and now go over the top. So versus press the point in and out. All right, the corner and the safety, or corner and the inside safety has to decide on how they're going to pass it off. Okay, the fly motion in this picture right here, just to see if it's man or zone. If it's man, we tell our quarterback that if it's one high and he's heavy in the middle of the field, we can rub. Look for the rub right there, where the F might take a step up, rub with the Y, and then run to the flat. Here's a look here. The point man should be 5 yards from the tackle. All right, so that's 5 yards from the tackle. He's going to run a 6-yard stick route, okay? You can see the outside receiver is going to press him and try to widen that corner for 5 steps. And now he's working that left upright right there, okay? And you can see the press the point in and out by the safety in the nickel, or safety in the corner. All right, they got to pass it off, and that's hard, all right? Happens quickly, all right? So this is just us lining into it. In the picture, we had a drawing of him motioning over there. But just 5 yards from the tackle, bunch look formation. If you think that they don't do a good job covering the back of the end zone, or they like to play low safety, or in this look, we got cover 0, okay, with a 6-man protection. All right, we're hot here. All right, but quarterback does a great job of not panicking and keeping it on. I mean, if he could just hold it just enough, all right, and you can see O-line ends up going 5-0. The back ends up blocking the most dangerous, which is that guy coming through the B gap to the field. The wheel is free. We try to tell a quarterback just to drift a little bit away from where he thinks he's hot, where he knows where he's hot, and then just lay it out there. Take one for the team. Mesh concept versus zone or versus man. We tell our guys to mesh at 6. Try to stay as tight as you can. If it's zone, sit it down. If it's man, keep it going, okay? I think the boundary receiver should have sat it down right here, okay, even though they're doing like a little bit of a cut with that safety coming in and cutting to cover the shallow here. But what we're looking for is we had our number 3 receiver should be running a wheel route down the top of the numbers. We're going to flood it with the back and the flat. We had the outside receiver running a stop route or a spot route over the ball. And then the number 3 receiver, or the point man, is running the mesh. So this is a field look. All right, we're looking to see if we can hit the wheel route. If they get soft, we can hit the flat route. Obviously, we had a nickel or a safety down in the flat. Now you can work the single receiver. Quarterback does a nice job of creating and now finding that spot route right there. So working the wheel, the flat, the X receiver to the spot. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're building basically a quads concept over here, okay? So ends up working out on a good play right there. So just running mesh and just, finding a way for us to, get a rub if they want to go man coverage. And then just our RPO, FIB, okay, just working on our pin pull to the field. We got a lot of, we condensed the split to about 3 yards from the tackle for the single receiver. He's blocking the wrong guy here, okay? He's blocking the wheel, which is obviously the O-lineman. O-lineman are 4 down to the wheel. He should be blocking the corner or the safety, okay? So it happens, all right? He even missed the block too, so that's not even good. All right, but we're reading the backside Mike linebacker. We're reading the Mike here. If he's coming through the B gap, just give the ball. There's no way he can make the play coming through the B gap on the backside of the play. If the Mike wants to run with them, now we'll work on this inside fade by number 3, a slant by number 2, and a key 1 screen by number 1 out there. So just we're looking to throw the slant, and if he has his bailout throw, will be the key 1 if he doesn't like it or something wrong happens in the concept, okay? But here's pin pull. Nice finish in the end zone. So this is, one of our most successful RPOs right there. We've carried this play for the last 2 years since we've been in Arizona, and we can't have enough of this. And then the goal line, like Coach, everyone gets that question, what do you guys run? Well, we don't change much, Obviously, if you want to do more with the run game, it's all about how good of a tight end do you have. Is your quarterback a runner? Are you going to add an O-lineman to the field? I don't know, but, if you're a majority 11 or 10 personnel team, stay with it, stay with it. And, you got speed on the field. They got to find ways to cover it. It's going to be man or zone. This is a typical punch it in. All right. Ride the wave with the running back. All right. Ride the wave. Quarterback, read the backside 5 technique. He squares up, hand the ball off. Okay. That's just fast tempo, nothing creativity on that one right there. Okay, we're just running our base offense. Then 11 personnel, just straight off tight zone with the cutoff on the backside, trying to widen the backside C gap with our tight end blocking to not always have a quarterback pull. Okay, here Khalil sees that the D gap player, all right, the guy playing the 9 out there, he wants to get lazy or they want to chase it down, and we'll pull and throw. We'll pull or throw, or we'll pull and run right here, okay? So we do tell our quarterbacks, even with the tight end blocking scheme, we will pull it off the backside 5 or the backside 9, excuse me, on that play. And here's a nice little change up, all right? You know, it's not completely blocked the correct way, but, you know, you get these D linemen and the linebackers, you know, hitting the gaps and cross-facing because of all you do is tight zone. Here's your little curveballs, our toss play. And you know what? It's going to be your best, you know, one-on-one tackling right here, okay? Who wants them more, okay? So we're just going to get our running back out in space. We're going to go down, down, and around. Okay, as you can see, we had a 4 eyes. We pinned it with our tackle, all right? Upfield, we want our receivers to have their outside foot up. As you see, my outside guy, I don't know if he's doing it, okay? But outside foot up, and just make sure, don't let him cross your face, all right? Don't make sure you cross his face. We're down, down. Obviously, our guard got tripped up. We lost him. But right here, I mean, we got our number 3 receiver wrapping around too. So basically, we have 2 pullers right here. We got 2 pullers, all right? Now it's just one-on-one. All right? That's a tough tackle for the DB. And we're going to walk in right there or lower our shoulder and get in there. So that's a nice little – you got your one-word tight zone. Now you got your one-word, you know, truck play or your pin, pull, toss, okay? And the main thing right here is that you got to ride the wave as a running back, okay? You just can't run in the back of the old lineman, all right? And this right here, we're just doing typical, just everyone block on. We're not going to do anything fancy. Punch it in there. A one-word play off our tight zone. Same thing here, okay? Everyone's blocking. We do have a glance by number 3 or number 1 out there. If the safety wants to come down and insert, he can pull it and throw in the back of the end zone. All right, so just a condensed split with the glance. Kind of the same mindset that I showed with the tight end run the glance. All right, same thing. You can ride it, rock it forward, rock it back, rock it to your front foot, and now throw it over the safety's head right there. And then our glance to the field too, just in case he likes the look. Safety in the middle of the field wants to add to the box and play low. He can throw that glance right there. Okay, so just 2 glances with our condensed split. And really, it should be more of a. It is our 11 personnel, but it's kind of like a 7-man blocking scheme right here with our point man and our tight end just washing it down. And now we can read any of those safeties inserting to throw over their heads. And then just, you know, we've got to find a way. You know, he's hot right here. All right, does a really good job of avoiding the hit here. All right, but this is just trying to get a back free to the field. All right, and it's kind of unique because the guy who's covering him is in the boundary, so now he has to run across it. And he lost him, obviously, because he came across. Looks like it's protection when the back does that. And what we're getting right here is number 7, number 3 receiver should be rubbing with the boundary receiver or the tight end. So it's a mesh. The number 2 receiver should be running the back baseline over. And then our number 1 receiver, which is not a very good route, should be running a post route. And he should be taking an outside release and then working the baseline. And that ball should hit him around the left upright area right here. But he kind of abbreviated his route. But just man coverage. We want to see who's covering the back. It's a nice job. You know, it's obviously protection-wise, you know, you got coverage 0. He has to make something happen here, okay? The guy's free. Great play by the quarterback avoiding that hit there. And then just 20 personnel RPO, split zone, just reading the safety as he inserts. All right, we have the fine grass RPO by our slot, and then outside guys just running a go route to the boundary and a turn route to the field, just in case they cover it. We can throw that little comeback route to the field. Long throw, but this is just an option for him to throw to it. But this is the one that you know, they want to play aggressively in the box, we'll attack that back of the end zone right there. That just split zone with the RPO over the top most guys have seen. And then, you know, trying to find ways of getting rubs on your RPOs, right? These guys are going to press you. They're going to play heavy inside. You know, we want to make sure that we can do a rub here. So number 2 is told to rub through the inside shoulder of that corner. We got to do a good job of pushing that corner up the field. And then he took a little too much pause in his release on top of his route. That foot should be right underneath him, and he has to go. But by him hesitating, the guy grabbed him, all right, and it makes it messy. Now, he makes the catch, all right, but that was just one of our, you know, you don't think you could throw glances or you don't think you can throw slants. Here's just a little rub to our Z, all right, versus man coverage right there. So the quarterback sees it's a box is full. Looks like an eight-man box. He could take that our rub play to the field right there. So nice little rub for us. And, you know, we didn't throw it here, but if you get the stance, like the split look right here where these guys are stacking, right? We got an in and out look here, okay? No one's covering the back of the end zone. So we know there's in and out. With both the guys running a skippy release, it makes the corner and the safety a little bit hesitant on who's covering who. And as you can see, all right, it's in and out. He takes the first guy in, and the outside corner takes the first guy out with both in breaking routes, right? So they have to be wrong. And as you can see, all right, we could feed it to that number 3 right there, Kirk, on the glance route, okay? We have the line route to pull that first inside backer or safety, and now we could throw that over the top. So that's just a way of finding ways to get in and out. All right, you want 2 breaking routes going one way, all right, might be in or might be out, but the easiest way is to have 2 breaking routes in so the quarterback can just throw that ball right over the safety's head. But obviously on that play, it was 3rd and goal. We got to score. And then here's a look right here. And this is a heads-up play by the slot, just knowing it's man coverage and just taking the guy covering him and then blocking whoever might have the QB here. All right, but same thing, right? The quarterback does not have to fall asleep right there. You can see that there's a pressure or a guy off the edge. All right, so this is us arcing the guy on this one. So reading the 5 technique. All right, 5 technique wants to take it. All right, we're telling the tight end, just block the first guy. You don't want to overcoach that tight end. Is the first guy in the box? Is it number 2 outside of him? Is it the safety? Is it number 7, number 51? You know, we just tell them, hey, go block the first guy violently, and the quarterback will make you right, okay? But when you start giving these guys too many rules, and there's a lot of variables on what can happen in that box, especially on the 1-yard line, we just tell them, go block somebody. And you could tell our slot just went in there and blocked him too, his tight end guy, but ends up making it a lot easier for us to walk in. Here's our 3 plays for 2-point plays. The converse is one of our favorite in 3x1. We're telling our number 3 to run a speed curl or speed corner. Make sure you break into the end zone and just speed turn it, okay? Number 1 receiver is on the ball. He's running a line route. It's a one-step angle break where he's hauling butt down the line of scrimmage. And then number 2 is running a whip route, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then coming back out 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and he's coming back. We're looking to throw the line route first. If it's there, if it's not because it's press, we're going to work the corner to the whip route. So right now, pre-snap, the corner's on number 1 receiver. We're not throwing it to him, okay? Now you got to tell your line route guy, put your foot in the ground, and you got to run hard to open up the whip route, okay? So don't just be stopping. You got to keep running. All right, as you can see, all right, number 3 receiver is attacking that safety, gets to the goal line. All right, so there's not much about, hey, it's 6 steps, 5 steps, 4 steps, whatever. It is, it's going to be off the corner, off the safety's leverage, and it's going to be off the landmark of the goal line, okay? Because we want to get in the end zone when he catches that ball. All right, we don't want to be short, okay? So make sure you get to that end zone. All right, you can see he gets that safety, speed turns it. The nickel's occupied with the whip route, and we're just going to go high to low on that nickel right there. Good throw. He didn't like it. He thought the nickel broke off. He hit that whip route right there underneath. So big fan of this play. You know, we had that concept with the run play, but he killed the run play because he knew you liked the throw. So you can kind of make it as an RPO, or you know, hey, we trashed it right here and made it a 7-man pro, and so he can throw the corner out. And then here's just trying to get your quarterback out of the pocket with the power read, okay? So we're power reading the 5 technique to the field. We're going to motion the slot receiver to see if it's man coverage. The X, this receiver to the field, is going to try to rub whoever's covering the F here, okay? His main job is to get that F open and then run the back pylon. And then that F has to do a good job taking one step up the field to pause the guy that's covering him and then come off the butt of the corner and or the X receiver's corner route, and then use your speed to separate. And then we have our single. All right, the main thing we teach our quarterback is to get depth. Depth's your friend on this play, all right? Don't come flat. All right, so right here at 3-by-1, we're motioning. Our outside receiver is a little too far out there, but he's going to see who's covering. All right, we're going to try to rub him. All right, you can see it's execution is a little too late. All right, but the quarterback can say, hey, keep running, and he can now throw it to the flat right here if he liked it. As you can see, all right, there is no 5 technique, okay? So he just thought, why not just shovel pass it? All right, he felt guys chasing him on his sprint out. All right, so you shovel past it, and believe it or not, we got stuck on the 1-yard line right there. But as you can see, all right, there is no 5 technique. He's running. He's reading 16. He thinks 16 is running with him. All right, now shovel pass it up, okay? If we don't have our the 4-eye cross face, he walks in right here. But the 4-eye crosses our face, and our guard is just trying to block in the most dangerous. He shows up. All right, if 16 wants to run with our quarterback, it makes it a lot easier for our guard to block him. And then here's a trick play. You're looking for a little trick play right here in the bound. This is actually a 2-point play. We're telling our single receiver, take 1 step up. He took 3, and that's why he got off balance. But take 1 step up, come back to the QB, catch it, toss it to the back. That's coming out of the backfield. And we're going to try to tell that motion guy, the guy covering, all right, the X receiver, block his outside shoulder, and now we can get the running back to go walk in right there. If he catches that ball, I know, not all. It'd be a better clinic if the man caught the ball and walked in the end zone. But, you know, sometimes we have bad plays too. But here's our 2-point play that we practiced it 1,000 times during fall camp and finally had the perfect opportunity to call it. And it didn't work out, obviously. But a nice little trick play to get it back to your back. It's a little hook and ladder play. We call it a baseball for a baseball term. And these RPOs, if you're getting a lot of cover 2 and a cut corner that wants to stop your RPO or your run to the boundary, run into the field, run the glance to the boundary. He's just reading the backside wheel. As you can see, the wheel runs with them. As you can see, the wheel runs. And now we're going to attack that with that 5-step glance. All right, so that game, they were doing a good job of running cover 2 and making that corner cutting the run and cause it to be a little more of a problem. So we changed it to the field, and now we make it a little bit easier to read that wheel linebacker, and the cover 2 doesn't obviously phase us in the run game. Here's just a power, right, running power, reading the weak side safety or the strong safety here. He wants to add to the box and throwing the glance behind him right there. I think a lot of guys, especially you guys, are doing it. But just not always running a zone scheme, but running a gap scheme. You can see it's the same side handoff. All right, you can see the backside of the 9 techniques getting blocked out. We're pulling for the Sam, reading the strong safety. Nice job on the glance route. We'll hurry up a little bit. Here's fly motion. This is the just different plays. We wanted a slant return to our best receiver, as you can see right here on the boundary, number 3. He had a slant return, so not always have him on a breaking route in, like a slant or a glance. Have him, you know, if they want to overplay it, now we got a slant return, and that'll come wide open. Obviously, this guy played it pretty well. He actually played it. He was actually playing a little bit slower than we thought on the slant return. And up top, all right, we're just working on, we're on the split zone, and then we're trying to run a rub play right here to the field. As it didn't work out, we wanted the single receiver to rub who's covering the slot, and then run the post route over the top. So not always having 2 corners, but have a post with a flat route here. Okay, so if you want to work the field, you could if you're looking for that post or the flat to the post right there. And we had edge pressure off the edge right here. 2 off the edge. All right, tight end's blocking the most dangerous. You can see cut him a little bit, the 5 technique. 29's free. So we got to give that ball right there. And here's just like the RPO. You know, this is the win the game right here. Same thing as converse. We're trying to run that speed corner at the goal line. We have that line route up top. This is an RPO. All right, quarterback sees that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, almost 7 guys in the box. All right, now we're going to take advantage of throwing that RPO. We try to tell these guys, don't flash to the tailback. Just catch it and throw the corner route because you don't want to be late unless you got a really strong arm. Obviously, he almost ran out of real estate right there because he did actually ride the running back. But we want to throw that speed turn corner to win the game. If the corner wants to play off and wants to play soft and off, you can throw that line route right now, okay? So the line route is his first read in the progression, and then it goes to the speed corner right there on converse. Same thing right here out of 11 personnel, same concept. All right, the line route is manned up. We're taking the corner route. Nice adjustment on the ball right there, all right? But don't ride the back. If you want to take it, you're taking it, just like number 11 did right here. Gather your feet, right? Gather your feet. Throw it to the sideline. And then just if you're running a lot of outside zone to your tight end to the field and they want a second level and the third level is overplaying it, now you work on your single receiver screen. We're releasing the backside tackle on guard. He's going to kick out the corner, and the guard's going to pick up the next man in, which will be now the will linebacker, okay? If it's man coverage, we tell our receiver, try to push it 3 steps up, 1, 2, 3. He's a little short. His timer went off, but be physical, throw him off you, catch it. All right, now, obviously, this guy's talented. He took it across the field, but it was a good little screen off our RPO right here. So we had the run play on, and then next time we call this play, we put the screen on it. So we ran a lot of the outside zone to our tight end here, and now we put our screen off the outside zone look. Same thing. I think I showed this already versus Texas Tech, but this is versus Houston where we attacking the inside glance route, 5-step nickel as we call it. Outside guy has a turn route. If he doesn't like the glance, he can take the turn. We're a little late on the nickel there, but good job sitting in the grass and catching the ball right there. Really nice job. Some pass plays that we did. This might be this is, you get a lot of man coverage or you think they're not, they want to push the safeties to the 3 receiver. All right, we run double bullet route. We're telling our receiver to be on top of the numbers in the boundary, run through the inside shoulder and take them with you. And you're working that upright, that right upright right there. Quarterback's looking at him first, and then he's looking for the back here. We want a man coverage. Obviously, with that linebacker dropping for the bullet, all he has is the line route or double bullet, not the line route, but the double bullet route. So just that's your first look. All right. Usually what happens versus man, we take that corner with us and allows us to throw the ball route to the back and into the field. All right. We just had a stick concept right there. Okay. Just our good stick. If he thinks he can bang it in there, he can go ahead and throw that stick right now. This is our shallow, it's our dodge concept, our drive concept. All right, we got stuck to the field. We have a speed out to the field. Okay, so if he wants to take it, go ahead and take it. He got stuck in there. All right, so he doesn't like it. We have the drive route coming across if he likes it, and we have the dig route, baseline dig to the boundary receiver. Does a really good job of just taking it outside, trying to win up top, and then working the backside baseline right there. Great throw, great catch. So working to the field first. All right, if we want to take that out route, we can take it to the drive, to the dig route, and we have a check swing to the boundary right here, okay? So just trying to work it from the field to the boundary. But if they're going to be quarters, or they want to play post safety, all right, hey, we want to see if they want to cover that out route to the field. If they want to take it, now work your drive. All right, he can sit it down. If it's zone, all right, he thinks that there's somebody in his landmark on the drive, he can just shut it down right there and sit in the window. And then he works off to the dig route to the check swing there, okay? So just dodge, is what we call it. And nice execution by those two guys right there. 6-man pro. Like I said, we run locks versus man two or versus zone versus post safety. That number 2 receiver has to do a good job finding grass. All right, find grass. All right, don't get covered up by the high safety. Good ball, good throw. And then as you can see, just a good block versus that. Here's a look at it empty. If you guys like it, empty concept. Just bunch the guys in the boundary. Run a mesh between the number 2 and number two receivers with a post wheel. You could probably hit this post route, by the way, that safety in the boundary expands for width. You can bang that post. If not, hit the wheel route. So the post, wheel. 4 minutes. So post wheel with the mesh. Just building mesh with the post wheel right there. And then here's just our quick play action, quick actions we call it. 3-step, just our slant returns. Outside guys have go routes. The outside guy up top, he kind of knows that the guy's playing so far off that he ends up doing a good job just blocking the slant return here. So that's just being a football player. He didn't block him. He blocked him well enough to give him the end zone. All right, but you got to run go routes right there. And then sometimes we've done glances. Outside guys have glance, slant returns by number 2. But pick your best guy, pick your best matchup, and go. The protection is forward down to the wheel, and then the back right here, they're gonna block it just like the run. The back has to block the most dangerous. We got cover 0. All right, so we're hot here. All right, but throw it to our best matchup right there, and then faking the outside. So just like I showed you the glance on the back side, now we're gonna do versus mini the slant return, the inside fade by number 2, lock hitch by number 1. That ends up being a lead blocker. And just finding ways to get to our best player in space. And we like to play action towards the Mike linebacker to the field. So you see the backside right here. We're going to fake the ride to the field and then throw our slant return. And then this is just our chair concept, okay? We got the fade route to the boundary. If you like it, go ahead and take it. All right, receiver got to do a good job of foot firing and give some time for the throw. We have a 4-step in by number 2 or 3-step in by number 2. Just double step, 2-step break it. You have a corner out by number 3. Make sure you keep leverage on them and work the back pylon. And then on the boundary, the single receiver, or not the single receiver, the outside receiver to the field, skippy release because the guy's playing that catch. All right, so we teach our guys, hey, if you want to buy some time a little bit, give them that DB, a 2-way go. All right, and now break it and come on in right there. So you can kind of throw the first read is number 2 right here. You should be hitting number 5, number 2 receiver. You can hit that first in route, and now he's high low in the corner. The corner is going to take us on the in route. You can throw over the top to the back pylon right there, okay? So just working the chair concept. One of my favorites, go-to. You got a lot of space to throw in the corner, and you got 2 in breaking routes if the quarterback wants to throw a shorter, easier throw in grass. Same thing here.
Do you want to open it up for questions here in a minute?
Yeah, I'll go over this one right here. And then if this guy's playing heavy outside, you can now poco him to run the post. So the guy's playing. This is actually a different concept. This is actually the whip route by number 2. He's a little short on his route. We had a go by number 1, and then we had the bender by number 3. All right. So just another way of if you didn't like the bender because the Mike linebacker inside carries, you can throw that whip route to number 2 right there. Any questions at all?
All right, guys. If you guys got questions, go ahead and raise your hand, and then we'll get you going and unmute you. Coach Dillingham's got a question. I know he's got one.
Coach Dillingham.
Oh, there he is. Oh, shoot. Come on. Unmute.
Should I go back to that screen or keep
there you got it. Kenny, you hear me?
I hear you.
kidding?
Great job. On the chair concept, do you guys teach to delay the in routes, or are they coming in right now, or is that just tempoed because it's soft coverage?
I think, we first put it in, it was speed. Number 2 is all speed. We tell our outside guy to 2-step break it because if it's zone and he can sit in the window or stay out there if the guy, the nickel, wants to break off and cover that outside in route. But we tell our number 2 receiver to speed turn at 1, 2, 3 and come on in. But yes, by the way they're playing soft and off, he kind of tempoed it a little bit to find that grass and sit it down for him. But usually the 2-step break is for the outside receiver, just to attract the corner to pull him down versus man, so you can really get that corner route to have a clean, clean spot to the right to the ball to the back pylon.
Thank you, good sir.
Always great hearing from you, brother.
Any other questions for Coach Mazzone? Coach Flew, you got a question?
Coach Flew. He ran this chair concept many times.
All right, let's see. Hey, I just want to say, let's see here.
Ah, man, he looks skinny. Is Flew on here?
Oh, look at Coach Amy on here.
We're doing D-line drills now?
Yeah, I'm trying to see how I can get my sacks.
I like it. Hey, get it out quick, right? Get it out quick.
Yeah, sometimes I'll do all that shit for nothing.
You could be right about that.
All right, well, if there's no more questions. Coach Flew, you got a question?
Yeah, I got a question. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. Flew.
That Poco route, man, you couldn't put the one against UCLA?
You know,
so red zone wise, obviously you guys got a few new calls in at each point on the field in each field zone. As far as those bread and butter plays, one, how many of those do you have? And 2, is that something like, hey, we're going red zone, it's day 4 of spring ball, we're just calling our bread and butter against our own defense so the kids know in each field zone what you're going to get to?
Yeah, you talking about like practicing the bread and butters or practicing the game plan ones?
Yeah, practicing the bread and butters during spring and fall camp, and how many of those do you have?
Yeah, I think we don't get like fancy with our RPOs or our concepts until when it gets into the season. I think that we just want to get really good on what we're doing. So springtime, our guys know that we have the chair concept, or we have the Converse one, or just different concepts that we can run with our guys that we want to get really, really good at. So we don't have to practice. Practice time is so valuable. You don't have much time. Like, you got 10 minutes for red zone, Skelly, and you only get through like 4 of them or 5 of them that you really wanted to see versus different coverages. So we just try to do as much as we can to just run our bread and butter during these times of the year and fall camp. And then when it becomes like, hey, week 2, week 3, and we're start scheming our defenses up, we kind of let that bread and butter, like, hey, you guys got to know that, or hey, we got to find a way during walkthroughs to just go through it one more time. But we, like I said, the bread and butters are bread and butters. They should know that in the back of their hand. And I think just our walkthrough part, I think walkthrough is the most important, just to get those extra reps before practice. But hopefully I answered your question there, Flew.
No, that's good. That's good. Appreciate it.
Can I ask Kenny a question?
Ask away, man. He's unmuted.
He's on mute. Hey, Kenny, what was y'all's number 1 red zone concept y'all ran this last year?
We ran, I could draw it up, but I can't share my screen.
Yeah.
But it is basically to the field, we'd run basically an expand, rub, dig by the slot. The outside receiver would run a tempo under.
Yeah.
So it's pick, dig, under to the boundary. we would get in a reduced set alignment wise. So it would be like tight end wing or wide out wing and a snug alignment. And we would tag the outside receiver, would run an expand hitch. He would get to the end zone, but he would get in the apex between the hash and the sideline. The slot would run a 7-cut, a corner route, and the back would run an angle to the flat. So it's like running snag, but reversed angled. So normally you run snag and your snag route comes from the outside in and your 7-cut goes over top. This is both routes are pushing out. And what it did was it was weird because versus man-to-man, when they manned the back, it actually, and we automatically moved the back. So the back always started opposite and moved to get there. It actually created a double rub without rubbing. So instead of rubbing those guys in, we had 2 guys working out with the back, and we created a double rub on the fly. It was pretty good deal.
That's awesome right there. Yeah. I think I've been watching a little bit of Atlanta Falcons Redzone Concepts, and they do something similar like that with the changing the snag where it's coming from. And that's good though.
Yeah. We took it straight from the Steelers, but we can tag which dude's on the snag runner. So which dude's running the expand hitch, we call it, which is essentially the same spot in the field a snag would get. We tag it. So it's either the number 1 on the snag, number 2 on the 7, or the number 2, they switch release and do the same thing.
Okay, good. Thank you, Coach Dillingham. Great job visualizing.
Thank you. You know what I mean? Just visualizing in my gray tee.
Vince.
I think it's just, is this us 4 right now?
Is H, are you ready, man?
H is ready. I can't.
Hey, let's go on another. I want Kenny to talk. Where's Vince?
Vince, unmute yourself.
Yeah, I'm right here. I'm looking at Flugrad looking like Star Wars. You got like a
He does.
looking like Luke Skywalker and shit. Yeah. Just taking it all in, fellas. Taking it all in.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, dang. H is in the team room. All right. I better go.
I got Springer right here next to me.
Oh, I'm jealous. No invite, huh?
Our bad social distancing policy.
Well, now that I can't come to your house anymore, that's your fault.
That is true, Springer. You are not allowed.
All right, man. Well, thanks, Coach Mazzone. All right, for talking about the Redzone Concepts. Inside receivers coach at University of Arizona. Coach H, you're up, man.
Oh, no break. Just roll right through it.
Rolling, baby.
But you need some water?
All right. Well, I'll do.
Yeah, I like that shirt, though.
Hey, man, no